Hello, this is Andrew Pierno. I am part of the Exo Capital Group alongside Danny and Henry, and we are absolutely delighted to announce that we've acquired OnSchedge, onschedge.com. It's a mission critical scheduling API, so it's a developer tool. So it's a backend only for companies to go and build out complex scheduling applications. They have a good foothold in the healthcare market. That is where the primary users are across a variety of other different verticals, but they have really good traction in Canada in the healthcare market. That's kind of our current starting point. So roughly right now, the product does about 300,000 bookings on average. This can go up to about 1 million during peak season, which tends to be around November and December, and then back down to 250,000 during off-peak months like the summer. Revenue-wise, the business is doing about 500,000 per year. It has a reasonable growth rate. This right-hand side shows a picture. This is in Canadian dollars, so if you're doing the math, make sure to convert it for yourself. If you notice here, there's a huge bump, and if you're wondering, that was because of a large lift they got during COVID, and then as COVID kind of ramped down, they decreased usage. OnSchedge is a really unique product in that it is following a current trend of usage-based pricing. So although there is definitely some customers on recurring revenue, there is also a component of this that is overages. So based on a particular pricing plan, if a company goes over their allotted amount, they have to pay an overage fee. And that represents an awesome opportunity for us to capture some additional upside. So if you're doing the math here on the MRR, it's not capturing quite all of the overage fees that are also recurring in a certain sense. So one of the initial things that we noticed when looking to acquire OnSchedge was that they sell to a lot of healthcare companies. So my immediate thought was, well, what kind of compliance are they offering? Are they already SOC 2 compliant? Are they already HIPAA compliant? And the answer surprisingly was no. And we dug in a little bit further and discovered that the number one reason for not closing larger deals is because they do not have this compliance. So as part of our first effort or initial efforts here, we're going to go through the process of getting at least SOC 1 compliant and HIPAA compliant. And that should enable us to start closing larger deals. And if that starts bearing fruit, then we can continue to invest in compliance. And that means potentially SOC 2 or another one called HITRUST. And what I love about that setup is we don't have to worry so much. I mean, of course, we're going to make progress against increasing our top of funnel. But when I have customers coming to me already, and the only reason they can't buy from me is because of a compliance issue, a sort of very expensive checkbox to undergo, we see that as a significant and relatively low-hanging fruit opportunity to get these compliance certifications so that we're able to close larger deals. A little bit more on the growth topic, they have been under investing in any kind of content for top of funnel. So they've had some really nice sized customers come to them and find them, but we could do much, much more on that front. And so we're going to implement sort of our content playbook that's worked well for Exo Capital in the past. And we plan on implementing that here as well, which should bring in additional top of funnel. So that coupled with the new compliance should bring us a pretty sizable funnel that the company has never seen before. The company does come with 2 key employees. So we have one person who is a full stack developer. He's full time, and another woman who is leading the charge on sales, and she's also full time. So we're going to make great use of both of their time. It's been running really lean, and they have a lot of ideas on what they could do to improve. But really, that compliance thing, not to keep repeating myself, is a huge, huge win for our salesperson who can then go out to all those customers that couldn't previously buy from us, start there. So start harvesting kind of those opportunities that had passed us by, as well as any new incoming opportunities. We can let them know as soon as we kick off this process that we're actually in the process of getting it, which is also sometimes enough to get a customer over the hump in terms of their concerns around security. In terms of growth rate, you can see roughly 5% here, 14%, down 4.6, up 9, up 2.8. So this is all trending in the right direction for on average doing about 7-8% month over month growth. If we can sustain that, this will be an excellent deal. But even at a much lower growth rate, I think this will still work out to be an excellent deal, because the real secret sauce here is this retention. These retention metrics are absolutely lovely, and one of the other reasons we fell in love with the business. You see all these 100%. So this one customer signed up in September of 2023, and the retention was 100% for all the way through 10 months, which is incredible. 4 customers signed up in June, 100% retention so far, 1 in May. And again, this Stripe is not very good at capturing absolutely everything that's coming in through here, but this is an excellent indication of what we've seen too, that this product just has really low churn. So what happens is a customer comes on board, they tend to book a call with Mitch and Mary, the 2 employees that are coming with the business. And Mitch, our developer, is really key in helping them implement and maybe even potentially writing a little bit of starter code for them to just get started. It's a really high touch initial process to get them up and running. And then once they're launched and once the scheduling API is actually powering whatever scheduling thing that they need done in their application, it makes sense that this has such high retention. It is just so difficult to think about having to rip out a product like this and then go spend several months, maybe even a year or more to build really complicated scheduling logic, business logic. It's just the type of code that every developer has nightmares about having to write, and is, again, one of the reasons why we love this business so much is the retention. This particular deal came directly to us off market, which is another reason why we continue to write and post things about the work that we're doing. It's just been a really great kind of lead gen for us on the acquisition side, and that's something that we plan on replicating in the future. We've also had really good luck with developer tools. They just tend to be very sticky once you start getting actual usage and the product is actually in place in somebody else's product. The stickiness we've seen just tends to stay very high. So our thesis and our past performance around buying developer tools has been very good and very strong. And it's why we were delighted to find another developer tool off market for a reasonable price that we could acquire. So we're still in the process of actually doing the asset transfer for this acquisition. We just closed a couple days ago, so we're still getting our feet under us with this one, but we're absolutely excited and looking forward to working on OddsCatch. And we hope to acquire a similar deal for the next fund as well.